Walk onto any driving range and ask a player what shaft they play, and you will hear an answer delivered with absolute, unbreakable confidence. Some play stiff, some play regular, others play X-stiff. The categories are clear, established, and familiar to anyone who has ever picked up a club. But if you look closely at the engineering behind those labels, you find a major problem. Those letters do not mean what most golfers think they mean. Golf is an incredibly regulated sport. Club head size, groove geometry, the exact specifications of the ball, these are governed by detailed, enforceable rules. Shaft flex is completely unregulated. Look at this chart comparing stiffness levels between different manufacturers. Because there is no universal definition, Brand A's regular flex actually measures mechanically stiffer than Brand B's stiff flex. The primary metric millions of players use to define their equipment isn't a standardized measurement. It is an unregulated illusion. You can take two shafts, stamp them with the exact same flex letter, and they will behave like entirely different tools. Beneath that single letter, you have massive variations in physical properties. The same stiff rating can hide completely different balance points, varying degrees of twist, and different total weights. The human brain always naturally craves simplicity. When a golfer sees a uniform printed letter on a piece of equipment, they automatically assume a uniform physical standard exists to back it up. As a result, players make the single most crucial equipment decision in their bag based on a manufactured consistency that simply isn't there. If the system is this broken, you have to ask why the industry hasn't fixed it. The answer comes down to incentives. Ambiguity is highly profitable. Keeping exact specifications muddy allows brands to sell equipment based on vague descriptions like active feel or stable profile, rather than objective, comparable math. If manufacturers were forced to standardize flex, it would actually reduce their ability to fit a wide array of golfers into a few streamlined product lines. The golf industry actively benefits from keeping consumers in the dark. They prioritize marketing flexibility and product differentiation over mechanical accuracy. But the blame doesn't solely rest on the manufacturers. Golf is a tremendously complex sport, involving wind, lie, temperature, and timing. To cope, the mind builds mental shortcuts. Over time, flex has become an identity. Pulling a stiff shaft out of the bag implies power and speed, while regular flex is often perceived as average or weak. This ego-driven choice has a direct mechanical consequence. Moderate speed players force themselves into stiff shafts, completely ruining their natural swing dynamics just to play a specific letter. Confirmation bias locks the error in place. Once a player believes stiffer is better, they filter every good shot as proof they made the right choice, and blame every bad shot on their own swing mechanics. This creates a dangerous trap on the driving range. A properly fitted, highly active club is often incorrectly rejected because it feels too soft, while a stiffer club that feels boardy and artificially reassuring gets selected, even when the launch numbers are worse. Golfers become active accomplices in their own deception. They consistently prioritize an image of themselves over objective physical performance. To actually find the right equipment, you have to strip the labels away completely and look at the physical variables that dictate how a club moves through space. Weight is the most overlooked factor in the bag. Moving from a 60-gram shaft to a 75-gram setup will immediately alter a golfer's tempo, timing, and rhythm, long before flex ever factors in. This graph shows what engineers call the EI profile. It is a precise mathematical map that plots exactly how and where a shaft bends during the downswing, showing the stiffness peaks from the butt to the tip. Combine that with torque, the exact degree of twist occurring at impact, and the overall length of the club, and you define the perceived stability and quality of the strike. True club performance is driven entirely by these invisible, measurable physics. The printed flex letter is at best a rough guideline. At worst, it is a complete distraction. The root of the problem is that golfers aren't usually looking for precision. They are looking for certainty, and a single letter provides that comfort. A genuine fitting process doesn't offer easy answers. It requires a player to accept complex nuance, make mechanical trade-offs, and trust micro-adjustments. Instead of asking if a club is regular or stiff, golfers need a new mental framework. The only question that matters is, does this shaft load correctly for my specific mechanics? Better players learn to ignore the subjective sensation in their hands. They stop chasing a feeling, and they start trusting objective physical data. The answer to your golf swing is not painted on the side of the shaft. It is written exclusively in the ball flight.